Did he genuinely? And I would ask the guys at San Giovanni.
What did they say?
It was a full-blown fist fight.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
See, the devil is literally wrestling with the devil, and it's well accounted for in the stories of Padre Pio that his brothers would hear this like ruckus up in his room.
Yeah.
Things being thrown around and his body being hurled against a wall.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, he was wrestling, he was struggling with the devil.
Well, broken fingers, bloody noses.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was in brawling all night.
Which I know would strike a lot of people today, I'm sure, as beyond bizarre, but you find it in the spiritual tradition like crazy that people who are really close to God, the devil hates them and will go after them.
Yeah.
And, Padre Pio opened something up that was extraordinarily powerful, and I would say included someone like you. So you go back to 30-something, the young Padre Pio, or whatever, 1920. But God had you in mind. I mean, that Padre Pio would reach out to someone like you.
Right, right.
So my point there is, of course the devil hates that. He hates that. And so of course he's going to go after that, because that's a very powerful moment when grace is breaking into the world, right? And so I find that very plausible. The older I get, the more plausible I find that. The devil, of course, wants to go after, even in a very direct way, those avenues of grace.
Which feels like a suffering hack. Because then you feel like, oh, okay, well, the suffering is actually a gift.
Yeah.
Like, you blessed me with this. When I think about, like, what's happened in my life this way, like, old me when I walked in was so upset about so resentful about the woman who accused me of all this. I wanted to go on Twitter and write all these things, and I wanted to justify this and explain all this. And now I actually see, like, the woman saved my life. She is, for me, a saint in my life. She saved my life. And that happened, that the perspective switch feels miraculous. What a spiritual experience for me is not like talking to a cloud, or like, when we talk about like the supernatural, in my life, it's a change in perspective.
Yeah.
That feels miraculous to me. There's no other way I could have done it on my own. So when I think about Pio and this fighting in this room, it feels like I can't account for his perspective in that room. I can't account for it. It's his journey. It's his thing. And I think about, okay, well, what are my personal like fights? Was it physicalized? What and also did he? There's a question of whether like he is this him writing in parable form? Did he genuinely? And I would ask the guys at San Giovanni.
What did they say?
It was a full-blown fist fight.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
See, the devil is usually more subtle, because people at lower levels,